All right, wonderful people, lovers of freedom. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to each and every one of you. Welcome back to Let's Talk TV, your one and only YouTube platform where they're giving a back-to-back hot updates on how things they be. And you know, I see they be today where we sit at home. My people, you don't shell everywhere. These people think say they go fit stop the sit at home where PM Simon Ekpa don't do. It is very, very impossible to stop such a thing. Yes, my people, we are Let's Talk TV. Welcome back as it hot. If you're joining us for the first time, remember to subscribe and turn on your notifications too. Also remember to like and share this broadcast as it hot. Okay, my wonderful people, the latest one with the boss brains right now, as I don't talk am already. Yes, the latest sit at home update as it hot where yes, people don't actually collect at this particular time as the southeastern state governors and the rest of it. Of course, Tinubu, but they think say this sit at home where they don't we PM don't put no go work out. Yes, it don't shell everywhere as market squares don't empty. My people, it's nothing we they do here na joke. Oh. Yes, market squares don't empty, and it is a very, very big thing at this point because it don't bust. Now me they tell you una this time say everywhere don't empty, roads don't actually empty. Yes, because everybody is supposed to respect the sit at home. Yes, as it is supposed to be, as it is meant to be. Because of course what the PM says is what will actually go. Of course, Biafrans would respect every single thing. It don't boss as these people are surprised that it is actually going on. And of course, it don't also share for people we don't want hear what, because of course they collect. And Anambra, for instance, we say some things they happen for there as it hot. My people, this is what we have to let people understand now as it hot right now, is that it is actually getting done in every state as I'm talking to you right now. Imo State is a no-go area as I am talking to you right now. Nobody is seen outside because of course they sit at home. When earlier on everybody been in TikTok say he no go work out, Tinubu don't shock. He's in critical shock because at this point he did not expect it to hold water up till now. But now look at where we are right now. This just shows how far this Biafra movement has gone. This just shows how far we have come and how far we are willing to go till the end. My people, all these things where they do, everything where we done, the true head inside has never been a joke and will never be a joke. And so it is expected that we understand that every single thing where we do so right now is for the Biafra movement. My people, is for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. As we all know that everything that we do, we need Mazi Nnamdi Kanu one way or another. He must be released one way or another. I know that they have struggled to keep him inside. They have even struggled not to give him his medical practices that are even needed for his health and everything. But my people, it is not going to stop what we need to do. It is not going to render what we want. It's not going to render us useless. No, we are going to keep on going forward. And as we have seen, as we have come to this particular day where they thought that we would not succeed, we have succeeded already. It don't bust. Because even as we are getting now, I'm getting right now is that Enugu is on fire at the moment because it is not what they expected. They are expecting people to come out, especially with that their governor Mba that would always want to find a way to niche or to care the waiting no consigner. He should actually get ready because he might be next in line to go down, because we don't understand how an Igbo man would be misbehaving when things like this are happening, or when things like this happen, or when things like Igbo people are happening. This man would wake up in the morning and decide or want to ruin things. He don't dey shele for an area just like in shele for Asari Dokubo area. My people, it go soon happen. All these people waiting, they mess up, they misbehave around everything we consign the Biafra movement. All of them go collect one after the other. And this is not a joke. I am very, very serious about it, because at this point, what we are aiming for is nothing but the best, and we will get the best. And at this point, this movement that has been done, this movement that has been taken to so many places in the world, that has gotten so many foreign eyes right now looking at us because of the PM's moves, we are not going to stand by and watch. We are not going to see the part where we suppose even do. we did the kind country where we won't come out, we no go do am. We need show say we did in unison, and that is what we are showing. That is what will happen. And anybody that tries to default would actually, of course, face the wrath of whatever he sees outside Nigeria will happen to him. Your Simon Eber, PM Simon Eber. That's so you go they hot, my people. Yes, get ready to listen to the next of broadcast with the sup as it hot. Okay, thank you.
Doing sit at home. The number one is for the unconditional release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and number two is for the liberation of Biafra, because the restoration of Biafra is something we are fighting in multidimensional ways, not in one way. As you can see, in case you don't know, we have sued your terrorist country to African Union Court in Banjul. We have sued you. And we are not relenting that, oh, we have sued Nigeria in Banjul, African Union Court, therefore let us wait and see the outcome of the court. No. There is nothing like that. As you know, in case you don't know, let me also tell you that we have submitted letters of recognition to many international nations. And we are not sitting down folding our hands waiting for them to recognize us. No. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu told us that when he went to the European Union, and was it European Union or United Nations? One white man told him, look, this thing you are doing will not work. It's not going to work. If you want people to recognize you, if you want people to come to listen to you, go and do something. He was told. And what was that thing he has to be, he should go and do? Go and fight. Go and fight. Fight for your freedom. Fight. Go and fight. That is the only way people can hear you. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was told, go and fight. And that is what we are doing. If you know about what I'm saying, please, can you just tell me yes? Can you just type yes in the comment section if you know what I'm talking about? He was told, if you want us, because he said when he mentioned Biafra, people stood up and started leaving. One man walked up to him and told him, look, if you want us to hear you, if you want people to listen to you, go and do something. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu look at himself. He has been doing something. He has been traveling all over the world, seeing Biafrans, galvanizing us, making us to understand what Biafra is all about, making us to understand the meaning that what we would gain if we are free to make our own decisions in our own nation. And we followed him. So what is that thing that he has not done that he has been told to go and do? To go and fight. Nobody gives you freedom, not even the UN, not even the European Union. Go and fight. Fight for your freedom. That is what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu told us. That he was told. A white man told him that. And it did not take long. ESN was formed. Now, Aisha Yesufu, I will come back to that number 13, that minute 13.
What? Telling them every people will not come out. Children couldn't go to school.
We are not fighting to liberate Abuja. I have said this time without number. We are fighting to liberate the land of Biafra, not Abuja. Whether the presidency is in Abuja or not, we don't care. We don't care. After all, our fight is not against the so-called presidency of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. This is not. Never. It's not. We are not fighting. Is there anywhere? Tinubu is nowhere to be found. We don't know who. We don't see Tinubu. We don't see Tinubu. And Tinubu does not have the capacity or the strength to carry AK-47 to come and face us here or to massacre our people. Tinubu does not have the capacity to do that. Our fight is with those in khaki uniform who come here to massacre our people. Once they leave our land, once we deal with them decisively, once we deal with them to the extent that they can no longer go patrol, they can no longer patrol, whether with their armor tanks, with their fighter jet, with their Hilux van, or to patrol on the street, or to walk on the street of Biafra, then Biafra will be free. Tinubu will be incapacitated. Our fight is not against Tinubu. Tinubu is just a one person. He's nobody. Tinubu is nobody. He is nobody. So we are not fighting against Tinubu. Tinubu is acting based on what the Chief of Army Staff tells him. In case you don't know, Tinubu is acting today. Tinubu has not said, okay, come, let us release him, let us declare Biafra. Not even declare, let us leave them to go. Tinubu has not said that is because the Chief of Army Staff and the Chief of Defense Staff, Musa, is still telling him, no, just hold on first. We can make headway. If you don't know, let me tell you today, you are a buffoon. Aisha Yusufu, you are a moron. You don't know anything. Our fight is not with Tinubu. Tinubu is still keeping quiet. Not to say let's leave them to go. Is because Labanja and Musa are still telling him, relax first. We might make headway. We might finish them. That is what is holding Tinubu. By the time Labaja will tell Tinubu, oh God, this thing not the work, oh, this our plan not the work, oh, he'll be like, say, if we continue this thing, at the end of the day, these people will still go and will not go get soldier again, we'll go still remain for Nigeria. Tinubu will be forced to call for a national conference where Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will sit. Mazi Simon Ekpa will be there. And they will say, okay, how are we going to do our borders? How are we going to do our bilateral agreements, our foreign policies? Are we going to be allowed to come to Biafra land as brothers without visa? Or are we going to purchase visa to come to Biafra land? And Biafrans will say, should we come to Nigeria without visa or with visa? There will be a bilateral agreement signed and documented. Biafra will go officially, and the world will then recognize Biafra. In case you don't know, we have no business with Abuja. Abuja is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in Abuja, but it's not where we are. We are not fighting to liberate Abuja. We are fighting to liberate our own land, Biafra land. If Asorok was in the east, then we'll be fighting within Asorok, where Tinubu is. But Asorok is in Abuja, it's not in the east. And we are not going there. What are we going to do in Abuja? We are fighting here. Are we going to leave enemies who wear khaki, who are here, who have invaded our land, trying to conquer us? Are we going to leave them to go and do some people, when they reason, you ask yourself, why? You leave them here, you go to Abuja to fight.
There was so much fear, killings. Somebody is carrying this thing. So many people were being lynched, people were being killed, people were being like, what? And then people saw what all of that violence was. At the end of the day, it's like, to what end? You think at the end, when I keep saying this thing, look, politics is very powerful. Why do you think these people stay on that political end? The best way to make ends meet is through that politics.
Did you hear that? She said the best way to make ends meet is through that politics. That is what she said. The best way to make ends meet is through that politics. That is what Aisha Yusuf said. So we are fighting to make ends meet under the zoo. Is that what you think? you are bereft of ideas.
Powerful. Why do you think these people stay on that political end? The best way to make ends meet is through that politics.
Have you seen it? So for the fact that she said this, it is over for her. It is over for her. Now, I don't have to continue playing the video. It is over for her as far as she made that comment that the best way to make ends meet is through politics. Listen, you may not understand the meaning of what she said. You know, God sometimes put words in their mouth. Even when they want to say something else, another thing will come because God wants to expose them. In case you didn't hear that, let me play that again. Aisha Yusuf said, politics is the best way to make ends meet. Listen to that.
Of the day, it's like, to what end? You think at the end, when I keep saying this thing, look, politics is very powerful. Why do you think these people stay on that political end? The best way to make ends meet is through that politics.
It's finished now. Isn't it finished? She said the best way to make ends meet is through that politics. That is the reason why they will bring her and pay her huge amount of money and push her to go and cause commotion. Listen, now, let me bring it back to the minute 13 so we can start asking her all these important questions. Pay attention.
That whole region with initially, of course, that's why when I see some people saying that, oh, there were people who were supporting Boko. Yeah, they were, because they were fighting for the rights of the people. Then from fighting for the rights of the people, they started killing the people. That's what violence does. And that's why when I see people who, when they're talking of protest, they want to do violence, I said violence will never take you anywhere. It might give you adrenaline, but it derails your message. You no longer find favor with the people because you need the people's support. Whatever, if you say you are fighting for the people and you don't get their support, not supporting us, oh, they must support you, but the fact that they can easily, you're killing them. How then is that fighting for them? That doesn't make sense, does it? That then is
okay.
It's not fighting for them. And so this was how that whole thing, started. And then it started with the stay at home. Children could not go to school. People could not open. I did a thread and I said, look, if you say, I think that first day at home was the day they were taking Kanu Namdi to the court. I said, if you want to feel that effect, come to Abuja and let there be stay at home in Abuja.
Okay. Aisha Yusuf said that when it comes to protest and if it's violent, that she's no longer there. Now, Aisha Yusuf, I have a question for you. Relax. The number is not yet open. Let's ask Aisha Yusuf questions first. People have started calling. Relax. Let's first of all ask Aisha Yusuf questions and then I'll open the line. For sure, I'm going to open the line. I say we are here today, even though it takes us to 4 hours. We are going to be here till 4 hours. No problem. Now, listen, my people. Aisha Yusuf. First of all, we want to know who is Aisha Yusuf. Aisha Yusuf is a so-called what do you call it? So-called activist. They called her activist. She is 50 years old. She's 50 years old. She was born on the 12th of December, 1973, 3 years after the genocidal war. And she is married to one Mr. Aliyu Osigwe Yusuf. She is married to one Aliyu Osigwe, not Osigwe, because he sounds like Igbo name. That is how they deceive us, including this Aisha who went to borrow a name, Som Tochukwu, an Igbo name. I don't know where she got that name from. So the husband is a Fulani man who goes by the name Aliyu Osigwe Yusufu. And then Aisha Yesufu got married in 1996. They have 2 children. She claimed to be a businesswoman. She claimed to be a businesswoman and so-called, there's another name she called herself. There's another name she called herself, businesswoman. And then she also said that she's an activist. She's an activist. She also said that she went to University of Bayero University in Kano State, as she was born in Kano State. Now, all these things that I have said, nobody knows who Aisha Yesufu is. How did Aisha Yesufu come to the, limelight? How did Aisha Yesufu come to the limelight? After all these bogus names and all of it, Aisha Yesufu was nobody. Nobody knows him. Nobody knew her. When was Aisha Yesufu become known? With all the education and the personal life and all that, Aisha Yesufu became famous and relevant in the society with this. I want you to pay attention. We are about to bring her to the public. We are about to expose her. We are about to tell her what she is and who she is. And then we will ask her questions. Like as I said from beginning, I didn't come here to insult her. I have come here to ask her some very important questions. With all the accolades she claimed to have, acquired, nobody knew whom Aisha Yesufu is or was, so to say. Until Aisha Yesufu took an advantage. Aisha Yesufu took an advantage of the misery of others. She became famous. She said, I am the Chibok girl 23 years ago, before she got married in 1999, when she was a young girl, when she was in primary school. She said, I am the Chibok girl 23 years ago. Aisha Yusuf was at the forefront, agitating for the, how do I put it? For the returning of the Chibok girls that were kidnapped during Jonathan Ebele Goodluck by the Boko Haram. Aisha Yesufu made headway. She began to grant interviews because she took it upon herself to protest for the return of Chibok girls. But let me tell you one thing that you don't know. Aisha Yesufu was not fighting for the return or the rescue of the Chibok girls. Aisha Yesufu was simply agitating for the rescue of Chibok girls because Aisha Yesufu was single-handedly picked by Buhari's caucus to carry out this massive protest against the regime of Jonathan Ebele Goodluck in 2009, 2010, 2011. Pay attention, I'm taking you somewhere. Pay very good attention. Let me repeat that again. I want her to sue me. Take me to any court. I will provide a lawyer to fight and expose you the more. Aisha Yusuf was single-handedly handpicked by the caucus, the clique of the then Muhammad Buhari, after the clique of Buhari succeeded in orchestrating their evil plan of kidnapping Chibok girls to use it against the regime of Jonathan Goodluck for propaganda. She was handpicked. She was picked in order to fight Jonathan Ebele Goodluck. And people who are bereft of ideas, people who cannot see, they never knew what Aisha Yusufu was doing. They thought she was fighting for the rescue of Chibok girls, as portrayed on the internet, as portrayed on the social media, as portrayed, as shown on television. They thought this evil woman was actually agitating for the rescue of Chibok girls, when the people who picked her, people that picked her, were actually using her to set Jonathan up. And she knew about it because she was paid for it. She was duly paid for it. I will explain. There's another Igbo woman, Obia Ezekwesili, that was also used, but she was not told earlier. Obia Ezekwesili saw the activities of this woman called Aisha Yusufu, and she joined. By the time she realized that it was actually a game that was played by the Fulani cabals, she removed herself. And she couldn't come out to say it because her life was on the line. Now, Aisha Yusufu utilized the opportunity of the misery of others to become famous and relevant. She maintained that relevance because a huge amount of money was paid to her. Aisha Yusufu, Chibok girls, about how many Chibok girls were kidnapped? About 300 and something Chibok girls were kidnapped in Chibok, Medugri, if I'm not mistaken. What was the name of this state? I think it's Medugri. What's the name of this state where this Kashin Shetima come from? Somebody remind me the name of the state. Remind me the name of the state where Kashin Shetima comes from. Borno State. Yeah, Medugri. I think Medugri is the capital of Borno. Yes, Borno State. Thank you. So now Aisha Yusufu used the opportunity presented to her by the Buhari cabals against or at the detriment of the people, the families of these kidnapped girls that were in grief. The families of these girls, the aggrieved family of the Chibok girls, 300 and something girls, that I think it was about 317 or so, if I'm not mistaken, or 340 something girls that were kidnapped from Chibok by Boko Haram. Aisha Yusufu saw an opportunity. She made money out of it, too much amount of money, and then she made fame. That is how Aisha Yusufu became famous and relevant in the scheme of affairs of the damnable Zoological Republic. That is how she became an activist, so-called activist, Aisha Yusufu. Now, if you are doubting me, Aisha Yusufu, if you are doubting me, my people, I want you to follow. Pay attention. This matter is deep. Like as I told you, the Matatai rapper, the Matatai serious rapper. If you are doubting me, we want to ask Aisha Yesufu. Aisha Yesufu, after Chibok girls' crisis and kidnapped by the Boko Haram, are you or haven't you seen, because we believe that consistency is the key to success. Aisha Yesufu, are you telling me that Chibok girls is the or was the or is the highest crime that has been committed in Nigeria since the beginning of your activism? Aisha Yesufu, we are asking you questions now, and these questions are begging for an answer. Where were you, Aisha Yesufu, when hundreds of children and women were kidnapped in Zamfara State by Bello Truji gang of Fulani bandits, as they call them? Aisha Yesufu, what stopped you? This happened under Buhari, that paid her, that brought her to the forefront, that brought her to the limelight. Aisha Yesufu, under that same Buhari, where were you when now Buhari manipulated his way to the presidency? Where were you when hundreds of children and women were kidnapped by Bello Truji in Zamfara State? Aisha Yesufu, where were you? Where were you when over 500 people were kidnapped in Niger State, in Mena, Niger State? Aisha Yesufu, where were you? What happened to your activism? What happened to your protest when hundreds of people were not just kidnapped but massacred in southern Kaduna by El Rufai and his jihadist movement? Aisha Yusuf, where were you? The same under Buhari. Did you go dumb and deaf? Did you go blind that you were not aware that hundreds of citizens were massacred in cold blood in southern Kaduna by El Rufai jihadist movement in southern Kaduna, which is close to Abuja, where you live? And this thing did not happen once. It happened in several occasions. Aisha Yusufu, where were you when Agatu massacre took place? Aisha Yusufu, the massacre of Agatu is what led the designation of Fulani herdsmen as the fourth deadliest terror group in the world by the World Terror Index. Aisha Yusufu, where were you when Agatu massacre took place? Aisha Yusufu, where were you on the 24th of December 2023 when over 700 people were massacred in Plateau State? This one that just happened recently. Have you become old that you can no longer protest? Have you become old that you can no longer march to the street? Aisha Yusuf, where were you when over 700 citizens were massacred in Plateau State? That made the international community, including United Nations, to speak and condemn it. Aisha Yusuf, where were you? This one is the most recent one. There are many I can count. They are uncountable. There are many of them, including the one that happened in Nasarawa, including the one that happened in Kano State, including Aisha Yusufu. I know you enjoyed the murder of somebody. Remind me the name of that young girl, Deborah. Aisha Yusufu, where were you when Deborah was murdered in cold blood, because you enjoy the buying of Deborah. You enjoy the buying of Deborah because, because she's a Christian, and then according to terrorists like you called her sin, her crime, a blasphemy. Aisha Yusufu, where were you? I'm coming to the latter stages. I'm coming there. You still have more questions to answer. Aisha Yusufu, we want to know what happened to your voice, what happened to your legs and your hands. Don't you know where to get placards anymore? When this heinous crime was committed just recently on 24th December, where over 3 villages in two, was it 3? No, sorry, 16, over 16 villages. Thank you, I got it right now. Where were you when over 16 villages in 3 different local government areas were invaded by the Fulani herdsmen terrorists, and over 700 people were murdered in cold blood on December? Where were you, Aisha Yusufu? Oh, because nobody paid you then?